What's better than having a hot cup of joe anytime, anywhere? The ability to make a hot cup of joe anytime, anywhere. And that's what we're gonna be showing you today with the Aeropress coffee maker. Well, yeah, there it is, folks. Comes in this nice little bag here with all of the little tools and implements that you can use or not use, and the actual item itself, the Aeropress coffee maker. Now, if you've been following the channel, guys, you know that I love coffee. We've reviewed all sorts of different ways that you can make coffee. I love doing pour overs. I love drips. I love French presses. There's all kinds of options out there. Thermoses that act as French presses. I mean, the ways that you can make a cup of coffee are really endless that are out there. But I've always enjoyed my Aeropress, and I've had this thing for about 2 years now. Got hooked on it from a friend of mine. She travels all the time all over the world. She was like, you got to try this thing out. I take it with me everywhere. And man, is this thing one of the most portable, easy to clean, ways to make a cup of coffee. I love this thing. It's very tough, very durable, very easy to clean, and can basically produce not only your warm cup of coffee, but depending on how you use it, close to espresso strength shots of coffee as well. So we're gonna break it down for you today. I've used it out here on the trail, doing hiking, camping, backpacking. I use it around the home all the time. So it's a great option that I want to share with you when you are looking for different ways to just make a tasty cup of coffee. You're tired of just that pot of coffee that's on the burner for 5 hours and tastes like the back door of a trucker stop, and you want something that has that nice, creamy, smooth flavor of a well-brewed cup of coffee. This guy can definitely give it to you. I'm gonna show you how in this video. All right, this is take 3. It's been a long night, folks, but that's why I'm drinking coffee at 9 p.m. That I've just made with the Aeropress, cleaned it out, and we'll be running a bunch of B-roll, just showing you what this thing has to offer. Man, I've been using this for such a long time, and I love it. It's just such a great setup. Everything you see here is what you're gonna get when you purchase an Aeropress. They go for about $30 on Amazon. Links in the description below. We appreciate when you guys use those hyperlinks. Also to Blade HQ, Backcountry, and Knockaround Sunglass Company. So, and that helps me continue to make this content, do what we do here. So appreciate it, guys. So, and you can find all this stuff in more details on Amazon and some of the other links we'll give you throughout the video. But everything you see here fits in that tote with room to spare, that little blue tote. For like a grinder and different things like that. So I'll run through real fast what you're getting, and then I'll walk you through how this thing works and why I love it. So what you're getting is you're gonna get 350 filters, paper filters. That is where the magic happens. You have to have that. You can buy new batches for, I think, like under $10. You can get like 750 of them. And I even got one with like a little red cap that'll show you how that works here in a little bit. But the filters are super inexpensive and very easy to replace. I mean, it's literally like less than a nickel per cup, you know, if you do the paper filter. You can get metal replaceable screens, metal reusable screens instead of the paper filter. But as you'll see here in a second, when it comes to cleaning, that will actually kind of defeat the purpose, in my opinion, and it's better just to go with the paper filter. So you get the paper filters, you get this little stand here that holds the paper filter so you can put it on your counter and you don't have these filters flying all over the place, so that's good. Then you're gonna get a nice stir stick, and then you're gonna get your little scooper measurement, and then you're going to get your screen that the filter sits in. You're gonna get a funnel, and then you're gonna get the main body and the plunge. That's what you get with you, and then those all fit in the tote. So the weight also, and some dimensions for those of you thinking about taking these for portable, like backpacking, flights, that type of thing. The minimum 3 pieces, technically 4 that you need, is the body, the plunge, and this plastic polymer grate there. All made super strong rubbers, very dense, no tearing or wearing out on these rubbers. And again, the rubber, the gasket, and I've been using this, I don't know, 3 to 4 times a week, every week since I owned it. And it's been, I think, 2 years. So holding up fantastic, and all the polymers, very heavy duty, dense polymers and things like that. Nothing cheap or plastic or flimsy. Even this stir stick, you know, really nice and rigid, good stuff. So, this, and this, that's gonna weigh 6.5 ounces, these 3 pieces right here. Now you could add the scooper and the stir stick, that'll be about 8.5 ounces, maybe 9 ounces. And then obviously you gotta think of paper filters, but you know, if you're doing backpacking, you're gonna take 10 filters maybe, and that weighs less than an ounce. So let's say a full system, including stir stick and scooper, which you don't necessarily need to use it. You could, you know, just use a stick on the trail, and you can just pour in. You don't have to use a scooper. That's going to weigh, let's say, 10 ounces. But these 3 items are going to be 6.5 ounces. Some other dimensional things just to consider for storage is the furthest diameter of this is 4.2 inches from side to side, and it's going to be 5.5 inches tall when it's all stacked on top of each other and ready to rock and roll. So 5.5 by 4.2, just for dimensional aspects if you're thinking of storing it in something or something like that. So very simple, very effective system. Now, the way this thing works is very straightforward. I'll be running in all the B-roll as we're talking about this, but we take this little plastic screen here, we take a paper filter, sit that paper filter right in there. We take the polymer body, twist that little filter on right there, sit that. So again, that 4.2 inches is really going to handle almost any mug that you can come up with right there. Then we're going to use our little funnel, put that over the top. You pour your grounds right into the container there, so your grounds are sitting in the bottom right there. Then you're going to pour in your boiling water. And what I love about this is that it can take under a minute, and you can make up to 3 cups of coffee in under a minute, versus French presses, pour overs. French press, you know, on average is about 4 minutes once you pour in the hot water, let it sit, and then you depress it. A pour over, you have to babysit. You know, you pour over a little bit, let it steep. You pour over a little bit more, let it bloom. You know, you do all that, and it takes time. You kind of have to babysit your cup of coffee. This is under a minute. Knock it right out, and you're ready to rock and roll. So you have your coffee grounds in here. You pour in your boiling water. You take your stir stick. The cool thing too is the way they designed it is that stir stick sits in there and it will not touch the paper screen and scrape the screen. So they really thought through the process. So you just stir that thing vigorously for about 10 seconds. Literally that is it. So since the water has engaged with the coffee grounds, it's been in contact with each other for literally 10 seconds. That is it. You stir, then you can either let it sit a little longer if you want to. This whole time it will slowly be dripping through the filter into the bottom. You can put the top on and kind of let it sit there and kind of, I don't know, clam bake, if you will, for a little bit. I don't do that after about 10 seconds of vigorous stirring. Then you just literally press, and the plunge pushes your water through the grounds, through the filter, and into the bottom of your cup. You turn it upside down, you're ready to rock and roll. Your coffee is in here, and then cleanup is as simple as twisting. You'll have a puck, a hockey puck of compressed coffee grounds. You press it through and pop it out, and you're ready to rock and roll for your next cup of coffee. That's literally how simple the cleanup is. Really the only item that I've found that's as easy for cleanup as this is really a pour over. That's it. You know, you just throw away the paper filter. And even that is can be kind of messy and big, and you know, this is a little tiny compressed puck of coffee grounds and the paper filter. That is it. So super simple, very, very effective. Now what's really cool and very fast, it's extremely fast. You can you can make 3-4 cups of coffee that way. Now there are marks, and you can just see how long I've been using this thing. 1 through 4, that does not represent actual cups. That's just measurement marks for you. Usually what I can get out of this is about 12 ounces of coffee if I fill it all the way up. Maybe I can get like 13 if I fill it all the way to the top and let it slowly drain for a minute, 10 to 20 seconds after stirring, and then depress it. So there's 2 ways to do it. You can just pour all your water that you're going to be using, let's say 12 ounces, into the body and hit the plunge. You're ready to rock and roll, hit the road. That's a great way to do it. That I have found is not my favorite way to do it. My favorite way to do it is actually recommended by the inventor, is to make basically a shot of espresso where you put your coffee grounds in, but you only pour about 2 to 4 ounces into the bottom, let it sit there, stir it for 10 seconds, depress it, but now you have basically a espresso strength shot of coffee. Awesome. So you can hit that and go if you want to, or then take the leftover hot water, let's say 8 ounces of hot water, pour it, and this is how I just made this cup, pour it into the shot that you just created, and you still get a very strong, very smooth cup of coffee, but now it's much sweeter than it originally would be if you just did 12 ounces straight through the body and pressed all 12 ounces straight through the grounds. So I found that actually makes a tastier cup of coffee for me. Again, Aeropress on their website will have several videos on how to make coffee all sorts of different ways, a couple different recipes, and they're very detailed. They're very good. I'm just giving you kind of a crash course on what this is and how I like it and why I like it. If you're not familiar with Aeropress, if you're a coffee lover, you should be, because this thing is freaking awesome and has been in my coffee rotation for quite a while. And they got plenty of little accessories. One thing that I showed you earlier was this little red cap. What's pretty cool for like backpacking or like a day hike is that there's this hole here, basically. You know, this is just an empty portion of the plunge right there. So you can easily stuff a bunch of paper filters in there, and I would say about 4 servings of coffee, 4 of these little scoops in like a plastic bag, right down in there. Then you just have this little rubber polymer kind of lid. There you go. Now it can't come out. You throw it in your bag, pull this little guy off when you're ready to get into those contents, and then close it back up. So it's a very, very, very self-sufficient, friendly, travel-friendly, outdoor-friendly, durable way to make a cup of coffee. Many different ways, make shots of espresso. I mean, it's freaking awesome, guys. And so of the ways that I make coffee on the trail, particularly, or traveling, you know, going to the office, and I don't want the office, you know, craft of coffee that's been sitting there for 4 hours and, you know, tastes terrible, and they used, you know, Folgers or something. I want my cup of coffee with my blend really done right. Then the ways that I will do that is, you know, I'll take a GSI Java mill. These things are awesome, about $30. Again, all this stuff will be in the links below. And I'll you know, grind it, fresh grind it if I want to. If I'm out for the day, sometimes I won't carry this. I'll just grind it, pre-grind it, and throw it in the body. Otherwise, the 2 other ways really, and this is why I'm showing you this, the only 2 other ways that compete for outdoor travel ready coffee is going to be the Sea to Summit, what's it called, a pour over. And the reason for that is that it's thinner, obviously, and lighter than this guy over here. And it's got that steel grate, and that's actually the exact same size as these filters, so you should actually interchange them, which is pretty nuts. But anyway, that'll sit right there. It's still not going to give me as tasty a cup of coffee, though, as the Aeropress, and there will be a lot of ground sticking in here. Then I got to like pour water in, try and dump it out. This is a lot messier to take care of. It is lighter and thinner, though, so that's a positive. And that's the Sea to Summit x-brew. That guy's going to run you about 20 bucks, 18 to $20. Then the other way is on this Nalgene right here, and that's the GSI H2 Joe. The Nalgene sold separately, but it's this little guy right here where you either put your coffee grounds in here, in this grate, you pour it through into your Nalgene, and then you're ready to go that way. Otherwise, the other way is to throw your grounds into the bottom of the coffee, or sorry, into the bottom of the Nalgene, screw this guy on, shake it up, and then use it that way. And this will make, you know, 32 ounces of coffee. So for, you know, 3 to 4 guys, you could make a cup of coffee this way, and it literally can seat on top of one of your Nalgenes when you're not using it. So that's actually probably one of the most portable, lightweight ways to do that. So, but these are basically the 3 different ways if I'm out hiking, backpacking, or going on a trip and I want to have coffee with me. These are the 3 ways to do it, and they all have their positives, this one being the lightest and thinnest, smallest profile, but is not going to give me the best tasting cup of coffee. This one also has a very low profile. This guy's about $15, by the way, and can make the most. You know, this will make enough. So if I have 2 to 3 people with me, then I'll take this and use this. But if it's 1 to 2 people, meaning myself, by myself, or with just one other person, the Aeropress is always going to give me the best tasting, the smoothest option for the cup of coffee. So if you care about your flavor, the Aeropress is really going to be the jam, folks. So I hope this video has just been informative, entertaining, showing you what this product can do. Go check out Aeropress. Go check out the links below if you're interested in it. I think if you're a coffee lover and you like making individual cups of coffee for yourself, this will be a blast, and it won't be as cumbersome, time-consuming as making a French press or a pot of coffee, and you can really get an excellent tasting cup of coffee anywhere in the world. So, thanks, guys. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, all the social media, and always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.